Cozy farming sim behemoth Stardew Valley was famously created by one lone developer, Eric Barone, otherwise known as ConcernedApe. As we've discussed before, Barone was a bit of a fan of the Harvest Moon games, but had some gripes with how they played out. For instance, the fact that often timing them was finite, with the story wrapping up and having a set ending, which just wasn't for him. He wanted to be able to keep growing his farm and living the farmer life, which is pretty understandable. I mean, I get it. Thankfully for us, his natural course of action was to produce his very own farming sim, seeing it as an opportunity to learn game development. Pretty respectable. As you'd expect, being a game built by one person from scratch in this way, Stardew Valley didn't just pop out one day looking all polished and as we know it today. It had to go through a long and considered development process to get here. Considering this, I was intrigued by its origins and wanted to see a bit more of what once was, leading me to find the dev updates that ConcernedApe had been posting on his developer blog on the Stardew Valley website between 2013 and 2015. For reference, Stardew Valley was actually released in 2016. I could find 32 of these updates in total. Looking through these dev updates and mini dev updates, there were some things that I'd never actually seen before, and so I wanted to go through some of the earlier entries with you, as I was actually so engrossed in reading these and just couldn't keep them to myself. But to kick things off, I'd actually like to start with a post that ConcernedApe made in 2017 on the 1-year anniversary of the game's release. In this post, he shared some details about and screenshots of the game's early development that hadn't been widely shared before. Barone starts off by listing a number of memorable events from the past year, including game came out, dozens of interviews, exhibited at PAX and met many fans, met Mr. Yasushiro Wada, the creator of Harvest Moon, flew to the UK to visit Chucklefish and collect an industry award, got a decent computer and got a nice big desk. No more HP Pavilion propped up on a Wii U box. Before explaining just how long Stardew had actually been in his life already and how thankful he was for its success so far, it's honestly such a heartwarming read. He then treats us to some old screenshots from all the way back in 2012, bringing a dandelion to Leah's cottage, the farm, the mines, Sebastian's room, the saloon, I'm in a usual spot, Clint, level up menu, inventory menu. There were several background themes you could choose from. ConcernedApe then reveals that Stardew Valley started out life as Sprout Valley. Sprout Valley. I absolutely adore this name and 10 out of 10 think it should be used in some capacity. Like as a spin-off or future game title, it's just adorable. We're then told how the mines were once going to be completely procedurally generated, with lakes and crafting involved, before being absolutely spoilt with this amazing hand-drawn OG Linus artwork. I love him. And then this post was wrapped up with an image of the initial town map. So familiar, yet so not. So diving into the mini dev update number 1, we have the shortest post, simply giving an update on the player character's appearance. We're told that the player's height has been increased and that a customization system is in the works. Our farmer looks a lot more in proportion versus the old design and is recognisable as what we kind of have today. Moving on to mini dev update number 2, we're shown the first iteration of the character customization menu. Of course, what we have today is definitely more advanced. However, you can definitely see that they're related, with the sliders and the gender selection appearing to have remained pretty much the same to this day. Update number 3 brought with it some graphics updates, including an updated farmhouse design and taller NPCs. But what I think is most interesting here is the introduction of some old, new character card designs. We've got Neutral Haley, Neutral Elliot, Angry Penny, Enraptured Sebastian. Who even are you, Angry Penny? Update number 4, again, saw a number of graphics changes, but I'll skip over this one a bit as they're changes into things that were pretty much the same to this day. Here's General Store for instance. Now, I thought that mini dev update number 5 was a bit of an interesting one, with the mines looking a bit different from what we've got to know now. First up in the update was mine elevators. These can be built in the mines. When you use them, you can quickly travel to any other mine elevator platform you've built, build a network of these, and make mine travel a breeze. I mean, we do have elevators that unlock as we progress downwards in the main mines, but building our own that connect? Another mysterious mention here is dungeons. As you explore the mines, you might encounter a dungeon entrance. If you can make it through in one piece, you might just leave with a pocket full of golden souvenirs. These dungeons are procedurally generated to keep things fresh. They're also totally optional for those who prefer to avoid combat. Perhaps this was the origins of the Skull Caverns. There's also talk of a dungeon exclusive monster in the post, and we do have different monsters available in the Skull Cavern, so perhaps this dungeon idea was just totally separated from the mine, and rather than having separate levels in the same location, they were removed entirely and relocated to the Calico Desert? Next up, update number 6. In this one, rings, boots and geodes were introduced for the first time, along with slingshots. So really it's only fair that I should be able to sling geodes at Clint, right? Dev Updates 7 and 8 introduced more of what's familiar to us today, including flowers, the secret woods, fruit trees, and, well, there was a giant seemingly haunted space pumpkin involved. I think hinting at giant crops, but I think we need a giant space pumpkin now, ConcernedApe. Now, update number 9 presented me with something a little bit unexpected. This update was heavily animal based, as you can see from this brown pig, sheep, and eyeshadow chicken. CA later mentions hogs in the post text, so I'll presume that's the brown pig we see here, but the presence of said hog isn't what caught me off guard here. It's this part. Befriend and properly care for your animals to obtain the highest quality product. Or, for a quick turnover, buy your butchering knife. I like the oh no face. It looked just like mine when I was reading this. Doing a bit of a dig on this one, I saw chatter on Reddit under a recent post from user Ertskull about ConcernedApe being vegetarian, so allegedly he decided to scrap this mechanic further into development as it had been a community suggestion but ultimately wasn't something he wanted in his game, which if true is a very fair move. I think it might have felt a bit off in some ways. I mean, I know Stardew has its fair share of darker themes woven in here and there, but this might have been just a little bit too on the nose, bringing down the overall vibes. I don't know, let me know what you think. Dev Update number 10 was largely fishing based, with the introduction of that minigame and some tackle too. It appears this is where we get Fisherman Willie from too. I do just want to show you this screenshot with the cow here though. It's important. Update number 11 is another pretty interesting one. In this update, skills have been added. However, they seem to have been called farming talents at the time. Looking at the graphic that's on top of this post, we see the rancher profession, that we still have today, would once have split off into butcher or shepherd. Farming could have taken a totally different turn for some. Looking further down the post, we also see these very meaty looking dishes too. The final blog post that I'm going to be looking at today is Dev Update number 12, just as after a certain point everything starts to become more familiar than not. However, this one certainly doesn't disappoint. Here we're treated to a quick rundown of all the bachelors and bachelorettes that were available at the time of this post, in 2013. There's Abigail, who remains largely the same, aside from one kind of major point, in that her hair was originally blue, rather than purple. Besides an outfit change, Hayley seems to be pretty much as we know her now. Maru looks completely different. Actually, wait, Leah, is that even you? Again, Penny's pretty recognisable, minus the outfit. My guy is still looking fine. Besides the dancing, Elliot's hair appears to be a little bit shorter. Avi and Sam are still themselves. And Josh, wait, Josh? Ah, the only reasonable explanation. Thanks, Tita Kind. So, while these are some of the most interesting of ConcernedApe's early blog posts that I could find, there's still loads more to read through over on the Stardew Valley website's blog. I'll stick a link down in the video description so that you can have a read through yourself if you're so inclined. For me, I absolutely adore seeing the early artwork, the game's graphics, the heart of it being what we know and love today. So seeing these things that we're so used to in a different way that almost could have been, it's just always so interesting. Do you think any of these old additions should have been kept in? And what's your favourite change that was made to the game? Let me know down in the comments. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it. If you did, please consider dropping a like/subscribe down below, as it would really, really help me out. But anyway, until next time, goodbye for now. Leading me to find the dev updates that ConcernedApe